Well, cheers. Hey, do buckaroos. How the heck are you? You know who I am. I didn't pop this yet. I wanted to pop it right in front of you. I've got the Hop Lobster Hoppy Red Ale, brewed and canned by Springfield Brewing Company, Springfield, Missouri, 5.9%. I don't know why I went in AM radio voice. Sometimes I do for no reason. Anyways, I digress. Let me pop it for you and pour. Sometimes I just go into the Rick D's voice. Rick D's and his cast of idiots. Anyway, I digress, man. I can go into FM radio voice, I guess. Just take it a little slower. There's a difference between AM and FM. AM was loud and obnoxious, while FM was mellow, man. Yeah, Jim Ladd, the king of FM radio. That man was the best DJ that ever was. KLOS, KMET, back to KLOS. Mercy Percy. Jim Ladd was the greatest there ever was, the greatest there ever will be. Because DJs aren't allowed to think for themselves anymore. They're not, man. They got to play these pre-programmed bullshit. They can't think. They can't program their own shows anymore. Oh no, that would that requires thought, man. And that's not what today's radio is about. Today's radio isn't about thought. It's not even about good. It's about crap. It's about playing. It's about brainwashing the masses with candy-coated bullshit they want you to hear. That's why I don't listen to commercial radio at all anymore. Yeah, you can criticize me all you want for listening to Spotify, because Spotify definitely has its flaws. They should pay their artists a whole lot more. They really should, but the great thing about Spotify is you're the DJ. You can find the songs you like. My playlist can go from Tina Brooks to Iron Maiden in one song. That's why I'm the best DJ I know. Nobody else would have the balls to play Tina Brooks and Iron Maiden in the same playlist, but I do. Because I'm betting that people, have a brain and can listen to more than one genre at a time. Even if they don't like Tina Brooks or Iron Maiden, I think people are smart enough to listen to it. Tina Brooks was a genius, man. The great thing about Tina Brooks was, the dude was a musical genius. He really was. But he might have been a little bit ahead of his time. And there might have been some other things involved that really kind of messed up his career. But you listen to those songs like True Blue, and you listen to those chord changes, you listen to the improvisation, man. Tina Brooks, wow. I mean, John Coltrane was great, don't get me wrong. John Coltrane was brilliant. But I don't know that there was anybody better at a tenor sax than Tina Brooks. Tina Brooks is just pure genius, man. And if you don't know who I'm talking about, get on your Spotify and pull up the song True Blue and tell me that song isn't absolutely brilliant. So here's what I did. I poured this beer, obviously. I also poured, oh man, I drank a lot of this last night with my friend, the Beer Samurai. But I got a little bit left. So I want to drink some neat with you, because I had it in some cocktails last night. But I want to show you how brilliant this whiskey is. It's a double barrel rye, finished in sherry cask, and this stuff is just beyond gorgeous, man. It really is. I poured myself just an ounce and a half, not a big pour, just a little bit of pour, just a little bit, just a touch, just a taste, just an ounce and a half in my Iechyd dog glass. So I'm going all local, baby. I'm going all local. I'm going all in on the local, man. Hey, bring it back, Tom. I'm just getting started here on a Friday night, man. I'm a little bit late for my 7th. I was doing some things, taking some notes, doing some writing, actually. And I kind of got carried away, didn't realize what time it was. So then I hurried up and tried to get this ready to go. I'm going to set that down there. I'm going to pick up this beer. So Hoppy Red, I do love the fact that they call this a Hoppy Red Ale and not a red IPA. I love that about them, because anybody else would probably call this a red IPA. Not that it really isn't, if that's what you're calling the style, but I love the fact that they're just calling it a Hoppy Red, which is what I've been advocating for years, decades, actually. I think anything but an IPA should be called a Hoppy Red or a Hoppy Black. I don't like the moniker Red IPA or Black IPA. It really doesn't make sense. Call them Hoppy Reds or Hoppy Blacks. but they're not a red IPA, nor is it a black IPA. Those things should not exist. This is beautiful, though. This is beautiful. You're beautiful, babe. Don't ever change. Questions, comments, please put it up here. I'm not afraid of nothing. Well, that's not true. I'm afraid of my wife a little bit, but that's a whole other story. Anyway, the truth is, if you're not afraid of your wife, you should be. Anybody that says they're not afraid of their wife is lying to you. Especially if they call themselves alpha males. Oh no! If you got to stretch, if you got to proclaim yourself an alpha male, you're not. If you brag about going to Hooters, you're not an alpha male. I don't even know that you're a beta at that point. I think you've been neutered. You just try to pretend. You're like that little chihuahua. You're like the little yapping dog that's been neutered. You want to pretend you got something, but you really don't. Anyway, I digress. But I digress, man. I had a great time last night. The show ran a little long. I typically want going forward. I want to keep the show down to about an hour, but I couldn't stop it last night because Mr. Samurai and I were just having a time. We were the two guys in a pub that are going to get kicked out. It did run almost 2 hours. I should have cut it a little sooner, but boy, we were just having a time. So shows going forward, I'm going to really try to keep them at about an hour length. I'm still working on getting some guests together. And when I say that, I do have some guests lined up, but I'm hoping for some diversity, right? I don't want to just have beer and whiskey guys. I'm hoping to find some musicians, some venue owners, just a lot of different, a different material, because if we're on a pub, there should be a lot of conversations going on. So this double barrel rye is just insanely good, man. This shit is tasty, I kid you not. That's really good, man. That nose oh man, that nose is just gorgeous. You feel those rye notes, right? But you feel those sherry cask notes that add some fruit notes that really wouldn't be prevalent in a rye. Oh, let me set that down. Pick up my beer, the Hoppy Red, the Hop Lobster. Do 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 do. Anyway, so the very first video I did for the Hop Lobster way back when, I don't know, a little over a decade ago now. It's been a while, man. And that song playing in the background, and I got flagged. I got my hand slapped. You don't own the rights to the song, Tom. You shouldn't be playing it. I know. Excuse me. Oh, mercy. Oh, brutal. Anyway, I think there's another one in there too. So my original video to the Hop Lobster. Anyways, wow. My original video of the Hop Lobster was just, the song playing in the background with me showing up some cards and doing some stupid dancing, It was just meant to be all in fun, but yeah. Oh my goodness! But I did get my hand slapped for playing the tune, and I didn't own rights too. Anyway, my bad. It was my bad. I just couldn't help myself. Oh. I think I got another one in there. Some bitch. Oh my goodness! Having an allergy attack right here, live. Ain't that a bitch? Live. We're live. I'm having an allergy attack. Anyway, what's attacking you, Tom? I don't know, man. You see, I just magically switched pubs just like that. This is some Doctor Who shit right here, man. We magically transported in the TARDIS, man. I don't know what happened. 1 minute I was here, next minute I was there. Anyways, I digress. I'm a bad man. Anyway. Oh, fuck nuggets and gravy. Friday night here in the Ozarks. The truth is, it's Friday night everywhere. Not just here in the Ozarks, it's Friday night everywhere. Anyway, unless you're, unless you're on the other side of the world, then it's Saturday morning. But then again, and again, I digress. Sometimes I just overthink stuff. Anyway, I digress. Uh, we've had some crazy weather, right? Wednesday, Wednesday we were like 68 degrees here in the Ozarks. Thursday we were snowing. Uh, Friday we're not snowing, but it's still only about 35, and tomorrow's supposed to be like 55 again. So I don't know what the hell's going on. I think Mother Nature's going through menopause or something. There's some shit happening, man. I don't know, man. We got some serious. Anyway, if there is a higher power, they're seriously pissed off right now. They're trying to keep us guessing. We're going to freeze them. We're going to burn them. We're going to burn them. We're going to freeze them. We're going to freeze them. We're going to burn them. We're going to freeze them. It's kind of where we're at right now, right? I think we're missing is a plague of locusts, right? Yeah, that's coming. It's coming, Tom. Got some locusts coming. Of course, God did send us Donald Trump is actually worse than locusts, but that did more damage than a plague of locusts. But hey, man, you deal with what you got to deal with. Anyway, I digress. It's going to send us locusts. Oh, mercy. Hey, man, you just got to survive. Talked about a lot of things last night on the video, the podcast, if you will. We did get into grief a little bit, his situation and mine. I just get frustrated with some folks that want to tell you that if you do these exact things, your grief will get better. And the truth is, it doesn't. These things might have worked for you, but grief isn't the one size fits all. You can't find one size fits all, I should say. You can't find this one method that works for everybody. I am great that certain things, these steps work for some people. I am very grateful for that. But to assume they're going to work for everybody is, well, quite frankly, is rather ignorant. Well, in all essence, it's a combination of arrogance and ignorance because it doesn't work for everybody. If you want to believe in whatever magic power you want to believe in, if that helps you get through, hey, good for you. Good for you. Good for you not letting reality or logic get in the way of whatever. But some of us can't stop this. Some of us are rooted in logic and reality. So if we're going to get over a grief, that's what we need to get us through. And magic beans isn't going to do it. Believing in it. So if you plant these beans, Tom, magic beans aren't going to do it, man. Do I think there's something else out there? In all honesty, I do. I'm not a religious person per se, but I'm not an atheist either. I wouldn't even classify myself agnostic. I do believe in something. I just don't believe it's the God of the Bible. I think the Bible's a whole lot of made up shit. And you think people of today would be smart enough to look at that Bible and say, yeah, it's a whole lot of made up shit that just doesn't make a lot of sense. There's some nice stories, there's some parables in there that you can relate to your life, but to look at that as if it was 100% reality is quite frankly rather stupid. Because anybody with half a brain can look at that and just tear apart everything that's in the Bible. It doesn't make sense. But if you take it as stories, okay, then okay, we could take these parables and okay, if and you can relate it to your life. Okay, this makes sense. But if you're looking at it as nonfiction, well, clearly it's not nonfiction. You got to be half stupid to believe it's nonfiction. Now I take that back. You got to be full stupid to believe the Bible's nonfiction. Am I saying people that believe in God are stupid? Of course I'm not. That's not what I'm saying at all. What I'm saying is you got to take things for what they're worth. I believe in something. I've felt things. I've seen things that make me believe there is something out there. So I'm not an atheist, nor am I agnostic. But to look at the Bible as if it is infallible, well, I mean, you got to be a special kind of stupid to believe that. I mean, you're abandoning all logic and reason if you look at the Bible and say, "Oh, this is reality, Tom." No, it's not. You're stupid. Anyway, I digress. We have a cat. We have a cat, Eddie, and Eddie was Seamus's cat. And after we lost Seamus to cancer, people will tell you that cats, can't understand things, or Eddie. I swear to goodness, Eddie went in the morning. Eddie wasn't the same cat. Eddie would just mope for. I mean, wasn't the same. But then every once in a while, Eddie would just jump. She'd be right on my lap or my wife's lap or on the armchair, and she would. So Seamus would sit on the floor, kind of, cross-legged, Skull Indian style, but I know you're not supposed to say that anymore. But he would sit down on the floor, and Eddie would just kind of do this circle like cats do, and lay on his lap and watch him play video games. Well, every once in a while, Eddie would just I mean, out of the blue, just jump down, run there, and do this whole thing, and just lay there and watch the TV, just like she used to do when Seamus was there. So it almost made me feel like, okay, are you seeing something we're not? And then everyone's, so we moved out of that house because I thought it was just the house. But she'll do it at this other place we're in, where Seamus never lived. Every once in a while, she'll just out of the blue, I mean, just like in a hurry, just jump down like she has to go right at that second. She'll just do this little circle and curl up like she's on Seamus's lap and look at the TV. Is this what I'm telling you is true to me? Can I prove it? Can I prove there is something else out there? No, absolutely not. But I've seen things and I've felt things that are true enough for me to believe that there is something, there is sort of a higher power out there. Do I believe it's the God of the Bible that hates women? No, I don't. Do I believe that there's a racist God up there that somehow wants, Joel Osteen to rule the world? No, of course not. These guys are charlatans and idiots. Do I believe there's a God up there that somehow sent Trump to save the world? No. If God sent Trump, it was as a plague, man, because the man killed 1 million Americans. The dude is dumber than a stump, man. If God sent Trump to us, it was only because he was out of locus, man. I mean, how stupid can you fucking be to believe God sent Trump? Anyway, I digress. I know nobody's going to believe this, but I was 100% sober before I popped this beer and whiskey, and I could tell, you're not a drunken rat. No, I'm not a drunken rat. I'm just drinking with you for the first time today. I'm not a drunken rat, man. I'm telling you things that I feel. If you want to take it, you can take it any way you want to. You don't want to take me serious? I don't care. I don't expect anybody to take me serious. I don't even take me serious most of the time. Hell, I don't even know what I'm saying most of the time. Stone cold sober. anyways, anyways, I digress. What I do know that we used to be a decent country. We used to have decent people that would want to do the right thing, but now we don't even want to teach the truth anymore. We want to call the truth something else. We want to give a name to the truth. We want to call it CRT because we don't want to teach that. We don't want to teach the reality. We don't want to teach the. We want to teach us propaganda. What is about that? Why are there people in this country that don't want the truth to be told? Why? Because it doesn't make us look good. So they want to teach propaganda rather than teach the truth, and they're okay with that. Okay, here's to you. I don't know what to call them, but for the sake of argument, let's just call them Republicans. Republicans that want to deny the truth instead of teaching any sort of reality. Anyway, I digress. But I digress. But I digress, man. Springfield Brewing Company. Oh man, I love these guys. The truth is, I love most of our local breweries. I don't get to as many of them as I once did. I just don't get out as much anymore. I've kind of trimmed. Well, I keep trimming my circle, if you will. I do try to keep a mug at Springfield Brewing Company, as I've done for several years now. And for the last few years, I've tried to maintain two mugs at different places. The Springfield Brewing Company, and I've at one point I had it at Hold Fast. Last year was at Tie and Timber. This year, my second mug is at Banter. I'm liking Banter, to be honest with you. They're doing some great beer, and they keep improving all the time. But the one thing I love about Banter is it's just a nice place to be, right? It's very unpretentious. It's very friendly. And again, their beer just keeps improving and improving. They just keep expanding that box, right? They just keep growing. Uh, I really do enjoy Banter Wire Road. That's one I may have to do a mug club in the future, but not this year. I did a Tie and Timber last year, uh, but I was only able to get out there three times. So my mug obviously didn't pay for itself. In fact, I was only at Springfield Brewing Camp, I don't know, maybe eight times at the most. I actually might have been a little bit more, but most of those times were just to get beer and go. I didn't actually get to sit in there and enjoy the mug. So, as far as actually being able to go in the brewery, sit down, enjoy a beer, probably maybe six, seven times top end. I'm going to try to do a little better this year. It just kind of depends. I don't enjoy going out anywhere as much as I once did, to be honest with you. I like being at home. I like drinking at home. I like relaxing at home. I like being in my pajamas or my underwear, depending on the weather. Yeah, and I don't mind being out, but I don't want to be out very long anymore. And the older I get, the less out I want to be. Anyway, I am Tom the Whiskey Whisperer, Whiskey Evangelist, prolific whiskey drinker, purveyor of wisdom, and I'm also Tom the Beer Whisperer, Beer Evangelist, prolific beer drinker, purveyor of wisdom, and all around good guy. Cheers, guys. Have a good one.